of Fervius' ultimate.
Yep, absolutely. But we'll see how those drop works out in game. But first off, this is game 1 between TODAK from Malaysia and Cyber EXE from Vietnam.
Man, I just don't know what to feel about this game right now. So we're gonna hop into the land of dawn. That's right.
Take it away.
Alright.
Waiting for you to say take it away.
No, you were actually still making notes there.
No, just say take it away.
Okay, fine. Was you waiting for the portal to open though?
No, just say take it away.
I take it away.
Oh,
my god, kill me, please.
Right, we are in for the final match of today. We still have game number 1, game number 2. This is going to be game number 1, or was it the other way around? This is game number 1, match number 1, coming in to the land of dawn. With Cyber EXE, they are heavily reliant on the magical damage output from their team. Will they be trumped over by a simple, well, Athena Shield?
Big problem.
Oracle?
Big problem for TODAK right now. Aldous is on that retribution. It is going to be an imitation of execration. Blacklist, my bad. Blacklist on top of the Aldous, right? Strat in terms of the jungle. But Flicker is already being burned by Riley. Right out of the back, TODAK immediately plays on a timer because the fact that they picked the Aldous as the final pick that totally took everyone off guard.
This is a massively strong early game that Cyber EXE is trying to roll out. I'm really not sure how this is gonna work out for them, to be very honest. But TODAK picking up the Fervius is something that I would really want to focus a lot more on, because I myself, I actually do not like Fervius. Everything about him is way too damn slow.
Personally, I play the Phoebus. Well, I do play off-roles recently, and Phoebus is very versatile. You can build him as a magic damage dealer. You can also build him as a tank. Now, personally, I find great success in playing him as a tank. He is absolutely nutty, especially his shield. Whenever he lands ultimate, attacks based on health as well. But okay, Selena will be able to pick off Moon right now, and Moy looking very low right now. TODAK will get overwhelmed by the wildcard right here.
This is just massive magical damage just going all around the place. Unfortunately, TNTK was not able to get that little dash in right through onto Moy, because that was a surprise flicker right onto the side of Kufra. So he's going to be safe and sound in the meantime. Momo jumps right in. He is definitely going to go for ultimate to ultimate and to ultimate. And despite all of that, he's not going to catch up to No, because, well, his mobility is pretty not bad actually, but the damage of his ultimate is not going to be the main star of the show just yet, maybe until the later stages of the game. While Momo is now going to go down to the hands of Riley. Surprisingly, the little healing angel gets himself the kill. But nonetheless, Cyber EXE, major amount of magical damage. I wouldn't be surprised if TODAK loses more in the early stage.
Yeah, Cyber EXE, usually you want to drop a retribution Aldous alongside with someone like a Harem, right? But, well, technically a Lunok still works as fine, but it's not as valuable as a Harem. However, they do have the Alice as an insurance, so probably all eyes on the Alice to hopefully to carry Cyber EXE all the way to the late game. However, it really depends whether TODAK needs to. In fact, what I feel like from this game, it is TODAK's answer towards Blacklist's Aldous Retribution Core.
And Moy gets himself to just a sliver of health, but no, because of the Abyssal Trap, the Selena will be able to get that final hit in, and that will be the finishing blow after all. Cyber EXE with a total of 3 kills so far, and TODAK with a total of 4. TODAK is still right on top in terms of goal lead, not too big of a deal.
Yeah, at the same time, we'll be able to find, follow me is right there. Unfortunately, with Little Wanderer, we're still falling to No as of now. Now, the problem is this. If you notice how TODAK is crazily trying to evade No as much as possible, but Cyber EXE is actually responding really well.
A really good Tyrant's Rage from the side of Kufra will be able to slam Yandere right onto the wall, but unfortunately not much of a follow-up will be seen from here. But No charges right in, kill contract earned, and that is going to be the first kill to the side of No, and we should be expecting a little bit more, well, stacks as the time slowly goes by. As DNTK makes his way down south, Momo is just going to be getting the hot gut buff. He will be getting a thick amount of shield, and he's going to be a-okay for now. Since we are talking about Phoebus, he does have a lot of tankiness onto his kit as well.
If you look at Cyber EXE's icons, all of them, I believe Yandere, Narc, TNTK as well. They are building towards the Clock of Destiny. They're gonna do a lot of damage in the late game. Now TODAK, like I said, on the ticking clock timer, they need to try to end the game as quickly as possible because this Aldous is gonna stack up exponentially, and TODAK might fall off in the late game if they want to try to bring this game around. The only way that TODAK has to do right now is to try to get as much structures as possible so that it transitions into map dominance, so that Cyber EXE will get starved out of farm. Aldous cannot be allowed to get any form of jungle stacks at all.
And of course, with the kill contract, they do have an idea as to where the members coming in from TODAK is around at. They're all going to be jumping right on top of No. His HP is all the way down to half HP, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be a big deal for him. Currently being flew right out with the Tempest of Blades. He's going to go down. This Aldous, he's not able to get his shield up for long, so down he goes. The first member down from the side of Cyber EXE in that very team fight. We may be going to be looking at more as Momo, and he himself is dead as well. It's a nice 1-4-2 trade-off. Cyber EXE definitely got themselves an upper hand for that one.
Gold leads still on par. TODAK and Cyber EXE, they're starting to get a little bit of gold lead. In fact, TODAK just secured more gold lead because of that turret, right? And of course, don't forget, they only took down that turtle at the same time. So in terms of EXP, let's take a look. Jiku is still level 9 against No, which is actually level 8. In other games that we've seen from Blacklist, but usually by now, the Aldous should be ahead in terms of the level lead against the enemy core. But this time around, Jiku was able to actually make sure that No stays as honest as possible, because if you take a look, TODAK is trying to make as much invade as possible.
And this invade is going to be targeted right on top of Gnome. He's currently being crashed right into the wall. The amount of invincibility that he will be able to pump up on himself, it can only be so much. But they turn things around. It does seem like TODAK literally just turned around and decided to put their tails right between their feet, or rather where they were at, and it just kind of ran away.
Yeah, and if you notice how Vermace is trying to cut the wave right now, the only way to actually exert invisible pressure at the bottom side is to try to cut that wave. However, Chico, nice dodge on the Abyssal Arrow, will be able to get out on the way. But Phoebus, I would say, this is where you were talking about this, right? It really boils down to what kind of build that Phoebus is actually building to. I would say it's more of a magic damage build.
It should be magic damage.
Should be magic damage build because they're going to leave all the tanking over to Moy.
And No, with a low amount of around half a HP, with Tempest of Blades coming and throwing him right up into the air. It is a 3v1, actually 4v1, because there is a hard guard that is going to be jumped right into Tiku at this moment in time as well. So things are looking relatively nice. We do have Phoebus that can actually just jump right in with his ultimate, but it doesn't seem like it was the perfect time to do so. But we have a lot of members from the side of Cyber EXE that fulfills the condition of using a blink spell or anything that is a movement spell. So proccing off Phoebus' ultimate shouldn't be too big of a deal, but if he really wants to get a guaranteed successful jump onto whoever that he wants, he can always pick up an Ice Queen wand and just pop up the eye and ensure that whoever gets sucked in can be jumped on almost immediately.
Yeah, No right now, right, is popping off the ultimate just to get into lane as quickly as possible. Now, not the best way of using the ultimate, because if you see how Blacklist actually used the Aldous, right? I know making bad comparisons between Cyber EXE as well as Blacklist, but you gotta admit, No picking up the Aldous with the Retribution is definitely begging for it. TODAK had a bit of an issue in the early game, but it's slowly but steadily, TODAK is starting to catch up. Jiku is farming up, and it's not like a link where you can basically try to farm up from behind by actually taking advantage that you're very mobile, but No cannot do that. The only way that No can actually start to build off the stacks out, mind you, he died 3 times, so those are times about a minute, half a minute at the very least, not building those crucial stacks.
Momo has been going around trying to do his very best to, well, kind of deactivate every single one of the Abyssal Trap as much as possible. And despite all of that, TNTK has been very diligently putting up traps where they have expired. So they are always constantly going to be having some good amount of vision at the middle lane brushes. So I thought that TNTK have got really good micromanagement at that very regards. But on another front, we're going to be looking at Jiku. He does have the hard guard just going to be popped right on top of him. Momo from up far, he's just going to be throwing right out with the flame shot, just going to connect right onto the side of Cyber EXE, and just because of all 3 of them, they've managed to secure a kill onto Yandere as well as No. So things are definitely going to go downhill for Cyber EXE, while not he's happily farming down bottom lane.
Yeah, both sides trading objectives, right? TODAK managed to get a kill on No, which is very good. Every time where you put No in the death timer is time where he basically don't get any form of stacks. Stacks are definitely important for others, but at the same time, you know, when the members of TODAK is actually focusing at the top side, trying to take down No as well as someone else, a bit overcommitment coming out from TODAK, just forced to use the hard gut because of the damage, burst damage output by Aldous is just way too much. At the same time, Nart at the bottom side will be able to push it in.
Well, so far we're looking at a very well balanced game to a certain regards, right? So we've got the massive amount of magical damage output from the side of Cyber EXE, and we do have TODAK that is responding with a very balanced amount of kills and roaming potential and all that, so on and so forth. So I really like what exactly TODAK has been doing so far.
Yep, TODAK, the main goal for TODAK right now, right, is to prevent Cyber EXE to basically reach that winning condition, i.e. let the Aldous farm out of control. Because don't forget, every time he actually picks up a jungle camp, the next camp is going to clear a little bit quicker. And it's going to stack exponentially, right? So Chiku, what he's trying to do is to make use of the fact that he's a Link, he's able to fly around and try to make some plays. Now, what Cyber EXE is trying to do, because if they're gonna have to draft that Selena, the main goal is to try to slow down and defend and protect anyone that tries to basically threaten the farm of Aldous, because Selena is a early game burst damage. When someone is trying to chase after your Aldous have to run towards the Selena, and Selena's arrow will land true.
So Cyber EXE, the way that they have kind of drafted themselves is very early game oriented and also late game oriented.
The mid game is where they'll start to dip, and that's also where, you know, TODAK will start to shine. Evidently, we are in the mid game right now, and of course, TODAK will start to take a bit of gold lead. They'll try to take a bit of a storm, but now TODAK has to try to slow down Aldous as much as possible, even if it meant tossing bodies.
This is the point in time where Chiku is gonna go online. Momo was still gonna take some time before he's able to do anything, in my honest opinion. Even if he jumps right in, he wouldn't be able to do much. The most that he can do is just literally throwing bodies, throwing elbows, and just doing what he can. So let's take this nice time to take a look at Fergus's build. We're looking at Clock of Destiny, makes pretty much makes sense. We're also looking at Oracle, which absolutely makes sense because there is a full team of magic damage dealers from the side of Cyber EXE. Benedetta would do the exact same as well with the Bloodlust X and Oracle.
Now that's a bit of a problem, right, going into TODAK, because the fact that everyone's building pure magic resist. This means that No's damage. No is the only person that deals physical damage, right? And he does a burst amount of physical damage. So there might not be anyone that will be prepared for No when he actually comes online. Now, just in case No fails, Nart has to answer the threat coming out from TODAK.
It's better to build against the rest of the lineup from the start of Cyber EXE and then eliminate their competition in the form of a single member. So pretty much understand why TODAK did exactly what they're doing, because that's kind of what I would do as well. Well, we're just going to be jumping down and take a look at what Chiku is doing. Unfortunately, it does seem like Nart jumped right, he's just going to be popping off the Winter Truncheon just right in the nick of time before the Tempest of Blades crashes down onto him. Chiku make a one-turn, big turnaround, jumps himself right on top of Yandere, gets a kill right onto the Lunox as well, while No, he activates himself right with the kill contract onto Moy, almost getting a kill onto Chiku as well, and just wants to go in for the final hit, but Formate did exactly what he needed to. We hail him as, well, the Assassin King after all.
That was so clutch. If Chiku actually falls in that fight, it's gonna boost No
killing spree.
more.
Right.
Not only just killing spree, right? Anything goes, because he slows down Chiku, he accelerates his growth, and then TODAK, right? Because Chiku is the one that's actually keeping him TODAK in game. Basically, I try to slow down though as much as possible. Now, as you can see, mid game is where Cyber EXE is starting to down, so you're safe. But I'm just waiting for that one point of time when Cyber EXE's damage is gonna increase exponentially because of No. However, Chiku is already level 15. You take a look at No, he's 3 levels behind, and No is just constantly trying to look for it. Turns the hard guard, which is kind of good, and allows Chiku to basically force the engage in. Wow.
This was great. Chiku pretty much expected where Nart is going to be jumping into. He, well, literally just predicted where he's gonna go to, and it makes pretty much sense because as a analyst, I would exactly do that as well. But TODAK, they knew what they wanted to do. We are going to be left with Nard. He's just going to be jumping right on top of Momo, just popping off the Immobilize and ensuring that he will be able to buy a little bit more time for his team. He jumps right in, of course, with the very nice with the truncheon, and of course, still popping up with the flowing blood. He's able to receive a lot of health in compensation for just holding on to the Lord. But they did not get the kill of the Lord, unfortunately. They are going to be holding out whatever that they can, while we do have the orders jumping right onto 4 Maze. And the hard guard popping around the 4 Maze. No, it is time to run. It is time to run. I'm not too sure if whether you should be really overstaying your welcome, as 4 Maze immediately burst him down. This is the point of time where Cyber EXE is going to find himself in a really bad spot, as the Lord tramples himself right down in the bottom lane. Even in the middle lane, they would want to bring the turret down as fast as possible.
Now this is where Cyber EXE starts to show a bit of flaws, a bit of a kinks of armor, because they don't really have anyone that can actually try to take down that Lord effectively. No is the only one that can actually deal physical attack damage, and that's exactly what you need. Moy catches Riley, Nard catches Moon.
This is the power of Nard, right? The flowing blood just deals heck a lot of damage to anyone that is going to be in the backside. While Momo jumps right in, he is going to be activating his ultimate, but he definitely will still have more charges coming up. As long as no one uses their flicker ability or literally any kind of movement ability, Momo will go down. But the more he uses his skills, the more sustainable he will be. And even the hard gun has been popped right out. He can actually jump right in again. Oh no. It does seem like the cooldown has been set off, I think. And Gnome is going to find himself in the middle of 3, and down the Aldous goes.
TODAK is using Chiku as that link to out-rotate that node. Node has only one jump, and that's it. You can see how TODAK basically, okay, hold on, we're not coming in once again. The Holy Baptism coming out from Riley as well. Momo jumps in, ultimate. It is a 4-member versus 1. Momo cannot stand a chance, will lose his life over there, but TODAK takes away one more turret from Cyber EXE.
No matter how much shield you're able to generate through your ultimate, you can't outlast against so many mages. Let's take a look at Fervian. He definitely went for the Ice Queen one. It makes absolute sense. He did go for the Oracle as well as the Athena Shield. Yes, so maximum amount of magical damage resistance, and also with the Ice Queen wand, he is able to land down his second skill just to get the nice suction in and guarantee a jump.
Yeah, Cyber EXE, they're not very dive heavy. There's not a lot of links coming in throughout. No consistent dashes, right? So that's why Phoebus is a little bit wonky to play against Cyber EXE shot. However, I would say that right now, looking at the goal lead, it's 4k difference, right? Cyber EXE has to try to hold the line as long as possible. Take a look at TODAK's side of the map. Super healthy. The turrets, there's only 2 turrets that's lost, which is only on the side lanes. TODAK's mid lane turrets is still standing strong. And don't forget, TODAK always picking fights in the side of Cyber EXE jungle.
Easy jump coming in from Momo. He's just gonna be jumping over and over, but unfortunately he only managed to activate 2 of the jump because all of the members coming from Cyber EXE is just gonna be melting him down as much as they can. And take a look at that. The sword out strike coming from the side of 4 Maze, just completely just demolishing everyone. But unfortunately, he wasn't able to just bring Nard down all in all because of the fact that there were too much magical damage. And speaking of magical damage, Chiku focused himself all the way down in the bottom inhibitor turret, and the top lane inhibitor turret is gone as well. They did manage to do a little bit of an objective take for themselves. They wanted to go for that nice ending, but that is not the Cinderella story they are looking for.
I screamed in pain when I saw that Chico got landed by an Amazon arrow. Thank God for TNTK. He is really good with that Selena arrow, mind you. And that's something that TODAK underestimates. Now, Cyber EXE has gotten that gold lead back into their favor. No, I hope that I will be able to see how much stacks that Aldous is holding on right now. As Cyber EXE is going to turn the tide, they're going to find TODAK right in their own jungle.
A jump from Momo is going to be the one that activates or rather initiate the fight onto the side of Cyber EXE. But Cyber EXE don't realize that, hey, we should not be taking up this fight. They all backed off and definitely do not want any more trouble onto the side on TODAK. They almost gotten themselves with the first tier turret in the middle lane though. So close yet so far. They really need to break down this first tier turret though. It is going to help them open up the map just by a little bit more and try to regain all the lost farm that they No, never mind. They don't lose any farm because they are actually ahead in terms of farm. What the hell?
Yeah, at the same time, bottom side, Chico is going up against a Nard. Okay, hold on a second. One
Ouch.
assassin is not supposed to do this. Chico, you are cheeky.
Well, we're talking about Ling after all. And unfortunately for the side of Alice, he don't have a lot of people to use Flowing Blood on. That is a mistake
True.
on the side of Nard. He's not maximizing the potential from Flowing Blood.
Yeah, I would say it's a very good pickup coming out from Chico, but hold on a second. Aldo's activating ultimate. Not
No
gonna pull that
contest.
trigger. No contest.
No contest
Cyber
at all.
EXE is gonna give this Lord over to the side of TODAK, and that's exactly what TODAK needs. More pushing power to push down this pesky single last bastion of Cyber EXE. I feel like TODAK has dragged this game way too long, and they know it, and they are itching to end this game right now.
Well, let's take a look at this. The amount of lockdowns that Cyber EXE have on top of Chiku is close to nothing, right? The only thing that they can rely like very confidently on is Nard's second skill. That's pretty much all. But you know what? Let us all take a look at this big old gang fight going on in the middle lane as well. As we do have the Tempest of Blaze just going to be activated, and so will the Brilliance coming from Yandere to get himself right back into the base. The Lord marches up all the way in the top lane. Yandere is trying to do his best to bring down the Lord, but unfortunately they are all magical damage dealers. No, he's already been destroyed. With 44 seconds right onto the clock, he's definitely dead. Nard is just trying to get himself and trying to destroy every single one of those ballistas, but unfortunately Chiku dealing heck a lot of damage. They managed to just focus fire onto the core, and just like that,